Hey everyone, it's Tech Sergeant Mackey. It's a beautiful Indian summer day. So I gotta get out in the woods and try to enjoy this. So I'm over here because of time constraints. I couldn't go too far, but I'm heading into an area of Conneaut what's known as Hogsback. 70 acres of this is owned by the Ashtabula County Metro Parks, and that's the land I'll be on. Right now I'm on the entrance trail for this. It's a gas well there. There's another one up top here. I have to start out by going up a pretty steep hill. Hogsback is I mean, it's just that. It has a ridge that looks like a hog's back. And so it has some steep ridges, small streams running through it, and it goes up along the Conneaut Creek at points. But it's known for these big, high 70 to 80 foot ridge lines. So especially with some of the asthma conditions I've been dealing with lately, this hike's gonna definitely work my lungs. That's a good thing, and it's beautiful weather. So I'm trying to dress light. This is an area I've done a lot of hiking in, but not a lot of videos. And it's been a dangerous, a little bit more dangerous area. This is in part why I haven't done many videos. So, as you see, I'm heading up. Oh, I see some deer running past. I have seen a lot of deer in this area. Yeah, I just had a couple of good sized ones run and hop across the path. There they go. Oh, that's a buck too. I don't know if you can see that. It's moving. I really can't zoom in on them. I may be able to get a better video of that buck up ahead here. There is hunting allowed on this land. I'm gonna kind of watch for the bow hunters. That was a really big, good-sized buck. It's cool. I got to see something right away. So just a little bit about this area here. There's some recent history I've had with it. I've dealt with homeless people, poachers, four-wheelers. Trying to look and see. There's a clearing spot here, and I'm trying to see if I can see. It looks like deer track on this. So, had kind of like issue after issue coming back here. had a few of the, I guess what you say is homeless, were very dangerous convicted felons with open warrants. This is the other area where one of the gas well places is. Say this is owned by the Metro Parks. They currently do not have any law enforcement officer, so there's literally no one to enforce anything on here. So it is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's about 65 degrees. So I'm wearing a sweatshirt and probably don't need it. I tried to stay light because it's kind of against my better judgment that I'm not wearing my body armor back here. But I am armed with a 9mm and a 10mm with my bear rounds in them, pepper spray, and a good sized switchblade. This area has some little streams, tributaries to the Conneaut Creek that run through it, but it's just kind of known for these steep valleys, and on top it's a little bit, there's this flat, heavily forested area. Metro Parks has carved out some good trails here. So I thought at the time that I have, this would be a pretty cool area to go check out. So there has been a lot of wildlife back here. Looks like a tree fell across the path up here. They're not supposed to do four-wheeling back here, however. There's nobody to enforce anything, so that does happen. Four-wheelers do wreck the trails. This is a recent tree fall. This is one of the areas I did a night hike. And we didn't record anything on that. I've done a couple of night hikes up here. Again, they've all been kind of with perils and dangers back here. But it's too beautiful of a piece of land to not get on video a hike. And it's been dry, but I've seen that some of these places, you know, when it's dry, it still ends up getting muddy, so I do got my mucks on for the march, just in case I run into some mud, and it doesn't have to stop me. See, there's a part here where four-wheelers have dug out this trail. A lot of leaves, a lot of leaf fall, so it's a noisy walk. Unfortunately, I'm gonna end up scaring away anything else. They're gonna hear me from a mile away. I don't know if I noticed that a lot of the times my video doesn't quite do justice to what I'm seeing. Like, I could see that deer real clearly. I don't know if it came out that way on video. I could see real clearly, I could see his rack. And I know that one's a prize, because it looked like it was at minimum. That one looked like a 6 to 8 pointer. See, in this area here, this is one of the little streams, and it's pretty dry. And this is the last dry day. Tomorrow is supposed to be heavy rain and high winds. So got to get a hike in today because this weather is kind of a gift. So we usually have 2 Indian summers, and this is number 2. I'm not expecting too much more in the way of pleasant weather. Let's see, 4-wheelers have dug that out. So this area's got a couple different pathways to it. So let's see some of what I find, especially where 4-wheelers have dug out. Even as dry as it's been, there's still a muddy pond where 4-wheelers have dug out. So I'm going to keep videoing no matter what or who I come across, because I see what looks like a deer stand up here. I think, no, it's, maybe that's not. Just one of the things in the woods you have to remember to do is to look up. But when you're hiking on some unsteady ground, your natural instinct is to look down and keep your head down, and you can miss a lot. This area here, Hog's Back, is an area that I've been going to ever since I was a little kid. And we've had a lot of creepy experiences back here. And then since I've started to do it again, after retiring, it hasn't disappointed. It's been a lot of creepy experiences. I was back here with the Metro Parks officer, and we had a 12-foot plus branch launched at us from something. It was, honestly, it was so big there's no way a human threw it. And we were paced in and paced out. And it was daylight and we still couldn't see what was breaking the sticks, and I mean literal branch snappings, wood knocks. There was even some whistles. Now see, up here we come to the fork in the road. And this is kind of this path is kind of a divider between 2 of the ridge lines. And I go this way, I circled right around into where there was a homeless camp that me and the Metro Parks officer ended up burning down. So I'll head this way first. And if you're not paying attention, I say there's another split in the path that'll literally send you south, and you don't even realize it. Send you the complete opposite way that you want to go. Like if you turn down that way, it'll wind you the exact opposite way, and you don't even realize it. Found that out at nighttime And if you do see something over here, and I do know what this is. Okay, see on these trees, these green cuts? That's from the forest management, ODNR. They do that. They come through there in the spraying for invasive species that damage trees. And those are all over back here on certain trees. And they mark the trees where they spray because there's some invasive species on that just are killing some of the certain types of trees. So you see over here, you got a steep ridge line going down into a valley where there is a stream. And I'll see if I can get a better view of it up here. There's something in the tree up here. Looks like somebody stuck a beer bottle there. Okay. This is one of the paths that go down. That's not as steep as some of the other ones that go down this ridge line to the stream. So I've climbed down some of these, and they're definitely a bit of work to do. Okay, so there's one of the other ones, and this one's a much steeper one. Went down it over here, goes down into the valley. Over here, this area where we had the gigantic branch launched like a javelin. Oh, I see over there, I see the white-tailed deer on the other side running away. I see two of them. This is one of the little streams, and it goes down in there to the bigger stream. And this one's dried up pretty much. But over here is where there was almost camp. It burned most of it. So this is where this is the gentleman who decided it was a good idea to throw rocks at me. He tracked him down, found out he was on Metro Parks property, and burned his little campground down. Now, fortunately, this is kind of the end of the path over here, unless I want to go down the hill. And the bad part about that is you go down the hill, you run onto another guy's property, and with good reason, he's pretty defensive of his property. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to do another way. So we're going to try and go over here and see if this way is easier to go down than the other way. And if this gets too steep, I'm just going to have to cut off the camera. Okay. So I'm going to try the easiest way to get in and out. You see, this is still a pretty steep road, but a little bit more manageable than the other one. Usually I bring my gloves with me for this, and this time I left them in the car. In part because it is just so nice out. And I'm a little bit overdressed kind of, but for keeping the fleas and ticks off of you, you want to keep some guard up, and because this is not as steep as the other hill, but it's steep enough that I take my time going down it. Still kind of surprised because of the cold weather we have had, but there's still quite a bit of bugs left. Okay. So now that I made it down here into the valley where this is the main stream. Okay. And this is the other one that I chose not to go down because it is steep as heck. But there's a path going up over that way. As I kind of remember, pretty sure we followed over here. I'm going to try to be as unevasive as I can. This area is really cool with its history, and I'll get up to it here, but there is you'll only see the foundation of it, but is where before we had modern refrigeration is where what was called the ice house was at. And you see the remains of this. Used to be a busy place back in like horse and buggy time. Okay, try to, with some of the leaves covering stuff, try to make sure I'm on the right path. But that's one of the things of this it's really a historic place back here, because they used to make the big giant cubes of ice back here and then haul them out on a insulated cart to homes where they would put in their ice boxes for their refrigeration. And I'm pretty sure that went up all the way, operated all the way up until sometime during the Great Depression, before they started to get modern refrigeration. Before it became useless and then abandoned, and the structure crumbled, and now there's just the concrete basement foundation of it left. So we got a couple different spots where we got to cross this same stream. The path kind of winds through here. And from that, see, this is another just kind of a postcard-ish scene. You can see some of these blocks here. Those are some of the old remains of the bridges that would come back here to the ice house. But it is just beautiful back here. And that's where you can tell this used to be part of one of the bridges. It's just old remains. Hearing some wildlife moving around up here, but I don't see anything. I'm not sure what that was. This is another, it's a less steep road. That will take you way up to the top. Over here is our ice house. This is all that's left of that place. just the old basement foundation of that ice house. It's been filled in with leaves and debris. There's an old, some type of old, very old refrigerator unit that looks like somebody's put quite a few bullet holes into. It's sad, really, because, I mean, it's pretty historic, and that these pathways that I'm taking are actually parts of the old road. Because see over here, to get across this is one of the remains of one of the old bridges. Again, this is like kind of like horse and buggy day bridges over here, when things were made out of a lot of brick. And the scenery here is just, this is just beautiful. And this is where my mucks will come in handy here, because looks like I have no choice but to wade into the stream, which more than likely is deeper than it looks. Yeah, it's about a foot deep, but the mucks will cover that. So this is just another kind of picturesque scene with this going into a deeper spot, trickling down over the shale. It's a peaceful spot, but when you had some of the experiences that I've had back here, it's peaceful yet eerie. Well, you'd think it really doesn't look that eerie. It actually is, and there's these high cliffs that people or other predators can be up watching you, and you won't even know it. And that's what we're surrounded by, high cliffs on both sides. That's a big tree, man. That's ancient. Looks like that's the remains of someone's old tent. And you see, this is part of that old road that led back to the ice house. You're walking through here, you kind of delve back into Conneaut's old ancient history. Up over here, you can see this is the CNN Railroad Bridge is back here, which is still operational. Because also what they did is they carved the railroad through this. This is part of the remains of that old road here. Let me see if this looks a little easier to walk through. I'm probably on somebody's trail cams over here too. But, oh well. If I see them, I'll wave to them. So there's part of the remains of the old bridge. I mean, it's sad that this is let go like this, but you know, I mean, it's like time marches on. It became unnecessary to have this. And you can see even that right there. Let me zoom in on that. There's an old telephone pole from, probably from when they ran electric back here. Okay, yeah, try to get across the stream without falling. So where I'm at, I'm like straddling the line between the Metro Parks property and the private property. So one side of me has signs posting, no trespassing. But it's like literally on the Ashtabula County Auditor site. I'm like straddling the line right now. So I'm gonna call that not trespassing. But because anywhere that I turn and go this way, even though it's up that hill, which I really don't want to go. This is the remains. I'm on the remains of that old road. That led back to the ice house. Again, as kids, this was one of our playgrounds. We were back here a lot. So again, I'm kind of straddling the property line. It kind of goes halfway through this road. You'll see the no trespassing sign. If I go over on that side of the road, I'm trespassing, so I'm trying to stay on the Metro Parks property. This was part of this stream. And right up on the top of that is the CNN Railroad. And part of this old road, and you can see, I mean, some of it's this moss, but this is old parts of the road. Some of it has crumbled off into the stream because it's just from decades of non-use and non-repair. So, and if they didn't put this barricade up like that, there'd be four-wheelers out the wazoo back here, just totally wrecking it even worse. So again, I try to respect the land. You can see somebody decided to graffiti this bridge. Now this bridge going over into over this little stream, and it's part of Welton Road. One little last bit is I'm coming out to Welton Road here. This bridge I wanted to say something about, because one of my friends back in, I think, 1985, around there, were coming down this hill in a snowstorm, and their truck fell off this bridge and down there. And my friend survived, and his dad died in that. And he literally, it knocked him out. It was the middle of a snowstorm, and he had to climb out. Couldn't get his dad awake because his dad had passed. Had to climb out of the truck, climb out of the ravine, and head up to the hill to the nearest house. Which, when you can look up there and see that house, that's a new house. That wasn't there in 85. He had to go pretty far down that road in the middle of a snowstorm to get there. So that's just a little history of this. And this little hill here, the top of that hill is the end of the Metro Parks property. That hill is it's a steep climb, but it's one we used to play on a lot as kids. And it's interesting because, like, this hill's literally here and it's separated from everything else. And it's kind of, I mean, it's like a unique land feature that it's just kind of odd because it goes straight up. It's very narrow at the top. It's literally about maybe 6-7 feet wide at the top. These very sharp cliffs. And these cliffs going into Hogsback. This is Welton Road. It runs down into this valley. And it's just I mean, when you come down here, especially at night, it's a spooky place, because man, the top of the ridge line literally goes up 80 feet on both sides of you, and you're carved down, you're stuck down here in this little valley that's narrow, and you have the stream on one side too, so it's like, it's narrow and no place to maneuver. All right, well, thank you for taking a hike with me today. I greatly appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Comment. Tell me what you think of it. Any suggestions, things I could change, things I could do different. I know before, a change I made was that I'm doing the hike continuously instead of doing it in sections. I don't know whether that's better or not. So this is a little waterfall right here. It's kind of dry right now, but tomorrow we're supposed to get a big rainstorm, and that'll be active. Tell me what you think of this place called Hogsback in Conneaut. Straight up, and this little road that runs through a valley of some beautiful woods, and it's actually some mysterious woods. And tell me what you think of this. Greatly appreciate you for taking the hike with me. All right, this is Tech Sergeant Mackey signing out. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Stay out in the woods, keep hiking.